time. I'm gonna grab a backup tea. That'll just take a second, you know, run into the fridge, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Be right back, buddy. Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Anyway, I don't know, I might... Anything you want to discuss? We can just talk about anime or whatever. I mean, I can just rattle on, or you can rattle on whatever you want, you know? If you got a preferred topic, you know? You can go any direction you want. Don't feel pressure.
No, I know.
Let's see. I'm gonna make this one public because the level that I am on is a hard one.
Okay.
I think it's still the same one from before. Maybe not. Okay, this is 8 stars. Yeah, this is the same one. We're working with the military police to rescue civilians. So the problem is they keep getting eaten. Gonna send you an invite. Alright, invitation sent. You been watching any anime or not had time lately with work and stuff?
I haven't had time lately, but I've been keeping up with some stuff.
Let's see. Well, we got one guy in here.
It's my understanding that Darling in the Franxx continues to be great.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. That's my favorite anime of the season, easily. That guy's talking. He's got a mic. Do you want to go to game chat, or do you just want to stay here, man? I'm up for whatever.
I'm not that good at talking to people.
Okay, dude. Okay, dude. That is quite alright. I never want to force you, you know? And you don't have to be ashamed of saying that. Like, one time before, I remember, you know, I kind of tried to drag us into game chat, and I couldn't really read whether you wanted to do it or not. It seemed like maybe you didn't, you know, but...
I did, and I tried, and I just...
Okay, dude. Yeah, totally. It's fine, man. It's fine. That's why I asked. I'm easygoing. I'm easygoing. Everything is chill. Oh, there we go. We got a fourth person.
Shit.
Alright, we're gonna have to move fast, so... Let's see. I'm wondering if you and I should try to stick together. I'll try to... You know what? I'm gonna let you lead. I'll try to stick with you.
Okay.
Because this one is... I recall the Titans being pretty durable here.
Well, it's Inferno mode. I expect them to be pretty...
No, this still isn't Inferno mode. This is just survey missions on regular mode.
Okay.
It's just, I hit a brick wall in regular missions, and even with a party of 4, I wasn't managing to beat this mission before.
Right.
But I have powered up since then, so... I haven't gotten any new gear, but I have, I haven't gotten any new gear whatsoever, but I have, done a shitload of reinforcement. Which is expensive as all hell, reinforcing gear.
Yeah.
But it's the only way I have to get any stronger at this point. Until I get all the shitload of materials that are needed to, you know... Needed to make the final end game upgrades. I'm gonna go for Pixis.
Okay.
You wanna help?
That, yeah.
Okay, let me know if you need backup.
You weren't kidding, these guys served our party.
Yeah. They're a little easier than they were the last time I did this, so I'm cautiously hopeful right now.
Right.
But this is still not an easy mission. Because we're basically racing against the clock, because if all the military police NPCs get eaten or killed, then it's a mission failure. Yeah.
Right.
And they tend to get eaten pretty fast.
The thing that FS my head guy
Cool. Didn't you have flame blades too?
I have them, yeah. It seems as though if 2 people have them, the effect seems stacked.
Oh wow. Drop Pixis, dickweed. Don't forget to, you can command your little buddies. Like if somebody gets grabbed, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since I played myself, so I'm having to get my groove back.
Yeah, I keep pressing circle thinking it's gonna help me jump. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Jump. Jump.
And your stupid radioactive glowing green arms. You helping me, Kasa?
Yeah, she's helped.
Word. Awesome. Okay, Bizarre Titans. I don't even care about getting the double S rank on this mission. I just care about getting past it, you know? We already blew the double S rank, but I don't even care, because right now I'm just trying to 100% the missions, you know?
Yeah.
Merchant Association boss. He's but a humble merchant.
He's so humble.
善良な市民のために心臓を捧げるのが兵士の務めだろうが。
You thought like lit.
援護しろってんだ。
逃げちゃダメだ。
善良な市民のために心臓を捧げるのが兵士の務めだろうが。
And now we gotta kill the bizarre ass Titan.
There's the dire target.
Yeah. I don't know if I care to kill it or not. I might watch what our teammates do.
Yeah, looks like they're heading for it. Forward 3. Yeah.
Alright, I'll jump in.
I don't know, they're pretty strong. They probably don't even need our help, but I'll go over anyway.
Well, if that's true, then we should go to the other target and start working on it. We'll wait for them to finish it before killing the other target, but my fear is that all of the military police will get killed by the Bizarre Titan, you know?
Yeah, I'm leaving. They don't... I just watched the number 99,000 here. They don't need
They must have some in-game shit.
like the end of them. Ah, fuck.
Damn it!
Wow,
See, that's what keeps happening.
so fast.
That's what keeps happening. The MPs just get wiped out before I can do anything. Maybe we have to stay together as a group. Maybe I screwed that up myself by going after the Bizarre Titan alone, and then, like, the military police maybe followed me over there and got killed.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
So, because I have noticed the military police do tend to follow me. So that's probably what happened. I should have waited. I should have waited for everyone. I should have gone with you guys to kill the DE. Or just waited.
Ah, okay.
See, I still don't see where the sit down thing is. You said you had to put it on your list?
Yeah. You have to do it outside of this like little prep tent area.
Oh.
I do have a show recommendation if you have Netflix, which I'm sure you do.
Go ahead.
Are you familiar with Agretsuko?
I am not.
It's a cartoon. It's from the people who made Hello Kitty. It's about a red panda girl who is an office worker that gets bullied around by her boss like a hippo. And he's like super sexist and treats like shit. And after work she goes to a karaoke bar because this is like Japan, like an animalized Japan. And
right on.
She gets all of her frustrations out with death metal.
Okay, that does sound fun.
Yeah. And like, it's the people who made Hello Kitty, but this is a very like adult cartoon. It's very entertaining.
Right on. Yeah, I saw where they made that show, Show by Rock. That wasn't really an adult show, but it was like a teenager show, so they stepped up from just doing Hello Kitty when they did that. What's the name of it again?
Agretsuko, Agretsuko.
Okay, I can at least remember the AGG part. I'll know it when I see it. I think I might even remember seeing that now, you know? I just didn't know what it was, but it sounds familiar the way you described it. I might stay out of the final battle entirely if the military police follow me. You know what I'm saying? And just keep them away, because the issue always comes when we start fighting. When I start fighting Ymir, well, it's a Bizarre Titan like Ymir, but not Ymir. You know. When I start fighting that Titan, she doesn't even have to grab the military police. She just jumps up and like kicks and thrusts her arms at them, and she just knocks them out of the sky, and they die from, you know, blunt force trauma. So there isn't even an opportunity to rescue them from being grabbed, because she just doesn't grab.
She walks towards them very slowly, swinging her arms and legs. And
yeah.
They just have to be in the way.
They get blown away. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the whole problem comes in right there. Save me, save me! Thank you, Pixis. You are truly my greatest ally. Okay, Titan down. That stuff I said about Pixis, it's not true. You're actually my greatest ally, but, you know, I figured I better say something nice to Pixis, because he saved me.
Yeah.
on the subject of North Korea, what I would honestly really hope for is economic reforms for North Korea. That would be a good thing to come out of this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If they just made economic reforms, they have strong social cohesion. I mean, this is kind of a twisted thing to say, but the people trust him very much for the most part, you know, because he's all they've ever known.
Yeah.
So for the most part, they trust him. The problem is that he does not trust them. He keeps an iron grip on them, you know?
Right.
If he just made economic reforms, then at the very least, the poverty and the starvation, which is the greatest problems of the nation, could begin to abate.
Right.
It's just... none of his forefathers ever trusted the people. The people trust him, but they don't trust the people back.
Right.
Which is often the case in these types of governments. Like, honestly, what I would see happening is, I think that Kim Jong-un would become like a second Pinochet, like the Chilean scenario, if he were to go in the way of economic reforms. And what happened there was that basically Pinochet was a dictator in Chile who made the decision to trust the people of Chile with their economic decisions, even if he didn't permit democracy. But immediately afterwards, what was called the Chilean miracle occurred, and suddenly the nation's poverty and famine ended, like virtually overnight. They were still a dictatorship, though, for a number of years. But after a number of decades, Pinochet stepped down from his dictatorship and restored democracy, eventually.
Right.
I don't think I could ever see Kim Jong-un doing that. But at the very least... Right.
That might just be a bridge too far for him.
Yeah, but at the very least, if the starvation of the people could be abated, then that's something, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that worked.
Yeah. Hope I didn't steal your thunder.
No, it's okay.
My focus was on, I didn't even realize that it was you who was fighting him. I was chatting at the same time as, you know, slashing, and my focus was on get rid of it, get rid of the Titan.
As much as I'd like the DE here, I don't. Oh man, I don't feel good about waiting just in case.
About waiting to kill the final boss, you mean?
Yeah. Our luck, the MPs are just gonna run into one of the Titans.
Shit, I need to get away from it. I need to get away from it though, because the MPs go where I go. The MPs go where I go, you know?
Yeah.
I hope you'll forgive me, but this time, just trying a different strategy, I'm going to try staying away.
Yeah, that's fine.
Shit, where's LZ? Oh, I'm on my way.
LZ.
I'm on my way, I see him. Oh! I'm down. Shit.
あれは強そうだな
So Luke got you, or?
I don't know.
貴様ら死ぬんじゃないぞあとは皆に任せよう
Our allies are dropping like flies. Come on, Lucy.
あとは現場の判断に任せようぞ
I wish there was a louder distress call you could send. Dude, I hate to say this, but I might need you to come rescue me because Lucy's gotten distracted. They're in their own world, and the countdown is ticking.
Coming.
Yeah, at first I was like, it's okay, I got 99 seconds, but now I'm down to 37 here. Thanks, buddy. Oh shit, watch out, there's the Titan.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna get the MPs away from it, if I can.
Okay.
Because like Moblit or somebody is over here with me, and I think he follows me. Or Moblit. I don't know. I think the MPs follow me. Yeah, the NPs. The MP NPCs. I'm gonna start building attack on bases to boost your attack power. One of the military police has been killed, one alive. Shit. Okay, I'm thinking I might need to... Sago 404 is down. I gotta spot him.
Oh, they're back up.
Oh, okay. Okay, this military policeman is with me. I'm gonna stand here with him, and he's not gonna go near that Titan. I'm gonna stand right here next to him. Because he's the last one alive. I'm gonna make some more attack on bases. Hopefully he sticks with me and follows me. Yeah, he seems to be doing that. He's sticking with me.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna make more attack on bases there to boost you guys' damage. How's the fight coming?
Good. The, that's good.
Yeah, he's following me. I see his shield emblem. I'm gonna keep making attack on bases as fast as I can. I think it's funny how they call it the attack on base instead of just the attack base.
Oh, hey, naming convention.
I hate having to sit out a fight, but if I go over there, this last MP, he's gonna fly around, and he's gonna get smacked out of the air.
Yeah, like a dumbass.
Sago 404 is down, just a heads up. I don't know if you see that.
I know, but Whoa.
Yeah, don't get killed. Don't get killed. I built a garrison base. I'm going to have to wait on more construction orders to build more attack bases. Superb work.
Alright.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, that was the ticket to the mission. Just whoever's hosting has to leave and go screw off somewhere else so the MPs don't die. Which is kind of lame, but every other time I've fought the Bizarre Titan, they have just immediately just smacked and destroyed the MPs in a matter of seconds, you know?
Right.
That sucks ass. It was so frustrating. That's got to be like my 7th or 8th attempt at this mission. Next mission info. 9 stars. Wow. It says to use cannons to repel the enemy.
So a lot of automated artillery then.
I do.
Hey, Jameer.
Okay. Thanks for playing with me tonight. I've been a bit lonely lately.
Aww.
Did you ever read the book or see the movie Starship Troopers?
Seen the movie
Okay.
a long time ago.
Yeah. A lot of people are finally taking like a second look at that movie after all these years. And they're noticing all kinds of stuff about it before that they didn't notice the first time, and that a lot of the critics missed. I honestly do believe that film is a work of genius. Subtle. It's a very nuanced movie. Most people assume, including most of the critics, that it's just a very straightforward action film. But I find that the film actually says a lot, and that in a way it kind of plays a trick on the audience by making you think that it's a action film. A lot of the critics originally were kind of confused by the way that the movie seems to glorify fascism. A lot of the uniforms of the characters in that movie are actually World War II German uniforms.
Right.
Just with different patches on them, you know? They just took World War II Nazi uniforms and took different patches on them. But one of the things that I always wondered about that movie is that the problem that most people seem to have going into that movie, and like, I mean, when I first saw it, I was like 6, so I mean, of course I didn't get it. I just thought it was a fun action movie, you know, sci-fi, they're killing the bugs. It's like, it reminded me of Aliens, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I love both those movies, you know? But what I love about Starship Troopers is that it kind of seems to bring up the nuances of human nature, the hypocrisies of war, the confusion of war. I hope you don't mind me rambling, you know.
Oh no, it's okay. I remember like one scene from that movie, and it's near the end when Neil Patrick Harris like approaches like the queen bug.
Yeah.
It's like, she's scared, we've won. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's afraid.
It's afraid. That means we've won. Does it? Oh.
Him wearing a Gestapo uniform for that whole movie.
Everyone point out, there's a fuck ton of Titans on this map.
No kidding, buddy. I'm battling the Bigfoot Titan.
Oh my god, there's so many Titans.
I'm gonna flee.
That's fair.
Spotted tips and wolves in combat. This is an intense mission, buddy.
There's much shit going on. No.
No kidding. It's kind of epic.
A little bit. Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, fuck, I got hit by a brick. Drink potion, drink potion. But one of the things I always wondered about, especially as I got older, we established early on in the movie that the Federation does lie in its propaganda.
Right.
They assert that the asteroid belt, the one in our solar system, was created by the bugs in order to shoot asteroids at us. And that's preposterous, you know? The asteroid belt is a natural phenomenon. So you establish early on that the film, the propaganda lies to you. But then all the audiences just seem to take for granted the problems that a lot of the critics had, and why they didn't understand the film, is because they take for granted that for some reason, for the rest of the movie, that the Federation propaganda is telling the truth. Which, who says that it is?
Right.
Here's the thing that I really wonder about in that movie. You know how there are a lot of conspiracy theorists, like, and this movie came out before 9/11, but there are conspiracy theorists who say that our own government was behind 9/11 and they wanted to use it to justify a war.
Right, right.
And there are people who theorize that Franklin Delano Roosevelt deliberately allowed the bombing of Pearl Harbor to happen because he wanted the United States in World War II. Oh shit, network connection lost.
Oh no.
I crashed.
Sorry, dude.
That's alright, man. I'm gonna have to redo that one, I guess. What a shame, we were doing good.
Yeah.
That is frustrating. That is so frustrating. That is very butt frustrating for me. But anyway, to what I was saying, I'll try to wrap it up quickly, but in the movie Buenos Aires, where the main character's family lives, is destroyed by an asteroid that supposedly came from the bugs, right?
Right.
Well, in the early on in the film, the newsreel claims that, you know, the Federation's navy is stronger and more prepared than ever to destroy asteroids sent by the bugs. So how did that asteroid get through the defenses, if those defenses are real?
Right.
And was it really even the bugs that sent that asteroid? Like, I suspect one of two things. Either the Federation was behind that attack themselves, or they allowed it to happen in the way that some people accuse FDR of doing with the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
Right.
Either way, the end result is the same. They get everybody riled up for war with the bugs, you know? And I've never heard anyone else espouse that theory before, so maybe I'm just a lunatic, but I mean... I guess what's funny about it to me is that it's like real life, the way that the audience is no better than the soldiers in the movie. They just take everything for granted that the newsreels say. They don't ask questions, you know?
Yeah.
And then if you do ask questions, you're crazy, you're a lunatic, you're some idiot who has a conspiracy theory, you know? You're one of those weirdos who think George Bush did 9/11, or Israel. Let's see. You gonna finish that mission?
It kicked me out when you disconnected.
Oh, shit. I guess I'll get it again then. Give me a sec, okay?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, okay, let me get that mission set up again. I'm almost done talking about Starship Troopers. I just want to make one more point, okay?
Okay.
The most nuanced thing about the film to me, the interesting thing about it, is that reading what the critics have to say about it, I find that in general, critics and audiences go one of two ways on it. And the ways they go are either the right-wing side, which to them it's like, you know, who cares about what the humans are like? You know, I mean, it's an action movie. Just sit back, enjoy it. Fuck yeah, kill the bugs. You know.
Right.
And then the left-wing side, which, in my experience, was mostly critics who panned the movie because they couldn't accept that it seemed to be glorifying fascism. Which I don't think that the film was doing that at all personally, but I can see why they would think that. And it reminds me of real life in that generally whenever there's an issue, we've been conditioned to think that there's only two ways of viewing the issue. You know?
Right.
You can either look at it the liberal way or the conservative way, and 95% of people, at least, will fall into one of those two camps. Did you get my invite?
Yes, I'm joining now.
Mm-hmm. Well, like real life, though, if you look at it deeper and you really ask what's going on here with that movie, you find that it's more nuanced, just like real life. And
right.
As a result, I find myself enjoying the movie and rooting for the humans in spite of myself. You know, in spite of the fact that these humans are in this totalitarian dictatorship, I still root for them. And why do I find myself doing that? It's because I'm a human. And I put myself in their place, and I think if I'm in that situation, I want humanity to win because my family is human. The people I love are human.
Right.
So it presents me with a dilemma. If the only way that the people I love could survive would be to endorse fascism, would I do it? And the answer is, from me, frankly, it's yes. If that's the only way that the people I love could be safe, would be through supporting a totalitarian regime, then I would do it, in spite of myself.
Right.
So in a way, it kind of puts a mirror up to the hypocrisy of war. You know, are there any good guys? Are humans even the good guys? Well, we're kind of bad in that movie, but we're still us. So I don't mind being a hypocrite to protect the people that I love.
Right.
And that's how a lot of soldiers were. Verhoeven is German, the director. So, I mean, it's not something that would surprise me coming from him, because, I mean, there were a lot of people who fought for the Nazis just because they wanted to protect their families from getting bombed. Given a choice, you know, between humanity being wiped out and living under a tyrannical government, I would choose the latter. You can always, when the war is over, you can always overthrow the tyranny later, perhaps, you know?
Right.
But if you're wiped out, if humanity is wiped out, there is no possibility for a future.
真の勝利を勝ち取るため心臓を捧げよ。了解です。任せてください。あの信玄団は救援要請だな。
逃げちゃった。お願いしますね。
分かった。
Release that guy. Release him.
頼んだわ。分かった。行くわ。よろしくね。
And I love that movie precisely because of the nuance. The situation it presents me with seems true to life. Not just the cut and dry duality, black and white decision that most movies present. Like even Star Wars, which I love, it only presents you with a choice of, you know, here's the good guys, and here's the bad guys.
Yep.
And Starship Troopers presented me with a scenario where everything is much more gray. I also love the book, but for different reasons.
Yeah, I never read the book. I don't think I ever had access to it.
Yeah, it's not read very much anymore these days. It really isn't. And part of that is probably because a lot of people do argue that Robert Heinlein, the author, a lot of people assert that he is a fascist. Because the system of government that he calls for in that book is one where the only way to get citizenship and the right to vote is to serve in the military for a full term of service. You don't get to vote unless you have done your time in the armed forces.
Right.
I think that the sheer number of Titans and the sheer amount of shit going on was probably what caused the network crash for me. Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, here's hoping.
In that book, one of his characters said something that I have never forgotten in the book of Starship Troopers that I still find very interesting. I think that it was Winston Churchill who once said that democracy is deeply flawed, but it's the best system we've found yet. You know?
Right.
And I do agree with that. And Heinlein in the novel lays out the flaws of our modern democratic system. And he does that when the soldiers who are training to become officers, like Johnny Rico, he was a character in the book too, from the Philippines, Filipino man. He was training to become an officer, to get a promotion to lieutenant. And the class is being taught by a major, and he says, the fundamental flaw of the unlimited democracies of the 20th century, and when he says that, he's referring to our modern system, like the United States, you know?
Right.
At this point in the book, it's in the future, so, like, everything is in the past, you know? Already happened. He says the fundamental flaw of unlimited democracy is that the voter was never held responsible for the literally unlimited authority of his franchise. If he voted for the impossible, then he received in its stead the disastrous possible. And then responsibility was forced upon him by the tragic logic of history. what is he really saying there? What he's saying is that the problem with democracy is that people in democracy can vote for anything. Even if it's impossible, you can vote for something. In theory, you could vote for the government to give everyone free food and free money forever, right? You could vote for that. But the outcome that you're seeking there is physically impossible. Voting for something does not make it real. And what you get instead, if you voted for something like that in the real world, and what people have gotten instead in nations such as, say, Venezuela, is the disastrous possible. The economy in Venezuela is tanked, and there's mass starvation. And the government is shooting people in the streets. So Heinlein was very prescient in his ability to predict this scenario. But his solution that he presented to it is certainly an unusual one. The solution of only permitting military veterans to vote.
Right.
The movie made allusions to his system that he put forward. The movie did say that you had to be a citizen to vote, and the only way to get citizenship was to serve. But it also took it a step further, and in their version, you weren't allowed to have children in the movie. For example, you were forbidden to have children unless you had done a period in the service. So there was a woman in one scene, in the shower scene, and everybody was saying, "Why did you join?" You know, and this one woman says, "I joined because I want to have babies." That's why she became a trooper. But I don't know, overall, what I loved about the book and the movie is that both of them made me think about different things in different ways. Heinlein was not wrong about problems that he proposed with democracy. But where he was perhaps wrong was with the solution that he proposed. And is there even a solution? Is there even anything better than democracy? Or is it still that, as Churchill said himself earlier, I brought up, that it's the best system we've found, and that's just, we have to make do with it. One more topic on it. Sorry for rambling, but one more topic on it, which I find is important, especially given recent events. The way that people view the election and everything. Heinlein asserted in the novel, and it was put in the movie, democracy, the act of voting, is violent. Intrinsically violent. Voting in a democracy is violent. And I'm inclined to agree with this because of the way he explains it. When you vote for something, the will of the majority is enforced by the state with violence if necessary. Men with guns, say you ban something. The government sends men with guns to ensure that nobody can get this thing which has been banned. So when you vote, you are effectively enlisting the force, the violence, and the force of the state to carry out your own will. And I had never really thought of it that way before, until I read that book. So, do you understand that? Do you think you would agree with that yourself?
Yeah, I agree.
That voting is essentially violent. That's one of the reasons why people get so worked up over elections and such, is because of the fact that something that maybe they don't want is now going to be enforced by the state. Even people who didn't like Obama, for example, had to abide by his decisions, his authority. People who don't like Trump are forced to abide by his decisions. People are only beginning to wake up to this reality.
Yeah.
For the longest time, we always just assumed that democracy is peaceful. And it's certainly more peaceful than the old ways that humans did things. Democracy is much more peaceful than just killing the people who disagree with you. But at the end of the day, it still involves forcing others to abide by, forcing some people to abide by the decisions of others.
Right.
Ooh, I leveled up.
Oh, yay.
I'm too much of a nerd. I really can't talk too long sometimes. Have you watched Darling in the Franxx?
I've seen some of it. Not enough to really keep up with what everyone else is going on about, but some of it, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, that scout mission's done. You up for another, or do you want to switch games, or?
No.
Oh, okay, I'll get another one then. Just, let's see, I'm gonna get it set up and invite you, and then while the countdown goes, I'm gonna go get some more tea.
Okay.
Superhuman is the name of this one. Emergency Joint Mission. 8 stars. Okay, I'm gonna let's see. Pick this mission. I'll send you an invite, and then I'll be right back after I get a drink.
Yep.
Okay, be right back. Sent you an invite. Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. You know, I sometimes think the solution to society's problem of misery and polarization, I mean, this is a preposterous solution. It'll never happen. But I honestly think that the easiest solution to it, the situation we have right now, that we've had for decades now, where whoever is elected, half the population is basically miserable, you know? Like, under Obama, half the population was miserable, and now under Trump, the other half is miserable, right?
Right.
I sometimes wonder if the best solution would be to have a one-time agreement between Europe and the Americas, and all the people who lean towards one way go to one place, and all the people who lean the other way go to the other. You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like, perhaps if someone would feel more comfortable living in a state like France, you know, kind of a more democratic, socialist, yet still capitalistic society, then let them move there and trade for all the French people who would rather live in a much more capitalistic, kind of libertarian setting like the United States. Let people who share values move to where they live with other people who share the same values.
Right, right.
I feel like something has to happen. Sooner or later, I think something has to change.
Sooner or later, it's going to.
Yeah. My greatest fear, personally, is that the U.S. is one Supreme Court justice away from deciding that the Second Amendment does not apply, that it only refers to the National Guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And my greatest fear for this country is that if the court tips that direction, if just one more judge gets in there, and the court is balanced, the court is tipped in that direction, I think that the result would be a bloodbath, a civil war, a real shooting war. Because I believe it was 41% of American homes have at least one gun.
Right.
And the majority of the people who are like that, the majority of people who I have known in my life who are gun owners, take that right extremely seriously. 80% of the country believes that guns should be legal for self-defense. There's a lot more disagreement, say, on the issue of whether, you know, AR-15s should be legal. That's not as clear-cut. But 81% of the country believes that you should be allowed to have a pistol to defend yourself and your family.
Right.
I think that if through the system, if firearms were ever banned through the system, like say through the balance of the court changing, I think that it would mean the end of democracy in the United States. And not because I think that there would be tyranny. You know, a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, I mean, I need a gun to protect me from the government, you know, stuff like that. That's not what I'm referring to. I don't think there's a conspiracy to take guns away to oppress the people of the United States, you know?
Right.
I think that the reason people want to take them away is just because they genuinely think it would make the country safer. I think that they believe that in earnest. The reason that I think a bloodbath would start, the reason I think it would mean the end of democracy, is because the people who are armed would never abide that decision. They would be violent, and they would overthrow the system to undo that. I read an interesting report from the Pentagon once on that very subject, but I'll spare you the details. God, Mikasa. Drop her, drop her! Oh, that guy's good. I don't know, I don't want to spoil anything on Darling in the Franxx, so I won't go too deep into that. I have been enjoying it lately, though. It's certainly become a better show than it was before as it's gone on. You know, I love the characters. So I would recommend it, but I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah, something that I never noticed about it, you've seen a few episodes, right?
Yeah.
Something that I only recently noticed about it when I was looking at the art, the screenshot, still image, is it showed some of the girls and boys standing in their uniforms, you know, like their school uniform or whatever kind it is.
Right.
And I noticed that all of the pistols, they call them, pistols, named after the female reproductive organ on a flower, all of the pistols, the girls, they call them pistols, they have a big red X in the middle of their chest on their uniform, right?
Right.
And the boys, the stamens, the boys have a big red upside down Y on their chest, on their uniform. So I suddenly realized, oh, okay, it's the chromosome.
Yeah, X and Y chromosome.
Yeah, I never noticed that until very recently.
That is very clever.
Yeah, just an interesting little detail. Just a little detail that, you know, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say clever, but I mean it is, I do like little details like that. You know, I like small details in lore in my stories. I like it when creators take time to put things like that in there.
Yeah.
Whoa! That was goofy. I gotta drop my tanks. Every time I say that, I think of drop tanks from World War II, which were fuel tanks that were attached to the outside of airplanes, sometimes in place of bombs, that would allow them to fly much further. And the reason they were called drop tanks is because, like bombs, once they were empty, once they were all used up and depleted, you would flip a switch and you would drop the empty tank, like as if it were a bomb. Hence drop tanks.
Oh, yeah, it's not a bomb, but a tank is really heavy.
Yeah, so once it's empty of fuel, you do want to get rid of that excess weight.
When it hits the ground, it's gonna cause some damage.
Fortunately, they were mostly used in the Pacific theater, because long range was extremely important in the Pacific theater. The ocean is so big and endless, you know, vast, that sometimes pilots would have to fly for hours, say, to attack the other side's carrier group or whatever, you know. So in order to achieve that extra range, drop tanks were an absolute necessity in the Pacific, whereas in Europe they weren't as important all the time, because in Europe a lot more was closer together. My first video game was Secret Weapons of the Luftwaffe, and that was about World War II aviation.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, it was back in 1992, I think?
Oh, the year I was born.
91, 92. Well, I was only 4 when my dad gave it to me. I think that's where a lot of my fixation on the Nazis comes from, even to this day, is because I always used to play as the Germans in that game, simply because they had, SS rank.
Yeah, at some point there was like a die elimination, apparently.
Mm-hmm. But I always used to play as the Germans just because they had all of the coolest planes. You know, they invented the jet engine, so they had the Me-262 and the Horton HO-229 Flying Wing, which was the inspiration for that massive aircraft from the first Captain America that Red Skull had, you know? That huge bomber that was like shaped like a wing.
Yeah.
And they had the little Me-163, which was a rocket-powered interceptor. But, unfortunately, that didn't... The Allies were scared when they saw that. They were afraid that Germany would learn to make rocket-powered fighters. But it ended up being not nearly as much of a threat as they had feared. The damn things tend to blow up, just, you know, the fuel was so explosive, they had a nasty habit of just exploding from being flown normally. But the Germans were trying all kinds of desperate things in those days, you know? Some of which worked and some did not. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, man, I'm a real chatterbox again tonight.
It's okay.
Yeah, I can't help but feel guilty, but I mean, I don't know. Let's see, something else we could talk about.
見せてあげる逃げちゃダメ
Let's see, any new games coming out maybe that you're interested in?
The God of War came out.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. If you get it, you'll have to let me know how it is. I never played any of the old ones, but I've watched like cutscenes from them and stuff, and I watched a friend play it. So I'm not uninterested in it, you know. I mean, it's a fascinating game, you know, the old taking the fight to the old Greek gods.
よろしくね始めましょうか行くわ
I was thinking though of Helios having his head ripped off
ありがとう
because his voice actor was the same guy who
あま
did
り無茶はしないで
Alucard in
心配い
Helsing.
らないよミカサ僕の
Oh,
言
nice.
う通り
So it's kind of like seeing Alucard get his head ripped off or something.
Oh, poor Alucard.
救援要請
Although to be entirely fair, that happens, he gets his head cut off or pulled off a number of times in Helsing Ultimate. It's just that if he grows it back.
行くわ
Which sounds unfair, but they explain Alucard's weaknesses, you know. He's not just written to be invincible, he has weaknesses.
ミカサ頼んだわ
That's the big secret of the show, the big reveal.
君がいてくれて心強い
Is
よ
that thing dead? Did I kill it? No, but I think I can capture it now. Yep, caught me a big abnormal.
Hooray!
Yeah.
助けに行った方がいいね
Is the DLC for this, the extra missions, is that out already and I didn't notice it, or is that still coming out?
I think they're all out now.
Okay, yeah, I think that one came out recently, but
僕だって戦
Like
えるん
there's
だ
like a complete pack for all of them now, I think, on the store.
いつの間にそんなに強くなっちまったんだ
I find it funny how the alternative costume sets cost far more than the extra levels. You know?
Yeah.
But people will pay to see Sasha in a cheerleading outfit.
救援感謝する
Well, it's a good thing I'm more interested in my own character than...
Oh, me too. I didn't even buy it.
見せてあげる
I got one outfit. I got the Gothic Lolita outfit for Krista. Which is funny because I don't even like Krista that much. I just thought that the outfit looked nice.
なんだよありゃ分かった
That's my Mugi train process.
Yeah. Old habits die hard. But I'm not gonna buy a cheerleader outfit unless it shows off some midriff. Okay?
Yeah, right?
No, thank you.
I'm not gonna buy the cheerleader outfit if I can't put it on.
That too.
Yeah,
Why
hey.
can't my character wear it?
ご迷惑を心臓は一つだ死に時を見誤るぞ
拠点を作ってもらえる
I painstakingly sculpted her butt, okay?
見直したよあんたも根性あるね
I wonder if they did add any more costumes for the player character.
なんだ
Did you know anything about that?
危険そうだ
I haven't seen anything, like in the menus or anything.
I'm coming to help. Oh wait, that's not you. Well, I'm going to go help this person again.
I'm also here by proxy.
Right on, dire elimination successful. Let's see. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on clothing in Mabinogi. I was a fashion
We all
lady.
did. We all did.
Yeah. Is that mission
Like,
accomplished?
some of us were worse than others.
That was pretty bad. But yeah, some of us were worse than others. I got all kinds of outfits that I didn't need, like, I got a Japanese, you know, kimono, kind of samurai-style kimono, just to wear to occasionally to banquets and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It was just a status symbol, though, you know? I didn't wear that one very often because I'm not a weeb. I just, I'm not Ken-sama. I just like to demonstrate that I have taste. That's important to me.
Oh, I forgot Maple Story 2 is coming out here.
Oh,
You excited?
I never play. I don't know. Never played the original.
Doesn't look great.
Yeah, shame. Often the sequels to MMOs aren't very great. They end up not going nearly as deep. I mean, that was the issue with Ragnarok Online 2.
Well, that game went nowhere.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah.
It just looked so much like so many other... I mean, the thing that Mabinogi has correct, that so many MMOs don't seem to get, is one of people's favorite things, absolutely, hands down, about any MMO, is customizing the way their character looks.
Right.
And too many games do not allow enough customization in that avenue. They don't realize how much... Oh yeah, go ahead.
One of my pet peeves about MMOs is that, and like, we've lost this job or class to this specific race and or gender.
Right.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Let people customize their character. If you want to be an elf who uses melee weapons, then let them do it. Even if there are stat penalties. Like, I knew an elf, her name was Era. I don't know if you ever met her. But she was one of the people who helped me get through G1 the first time I ever did it. Her name was Era, A-I-R-A. And her character was an elf who was completely built on melee combat. And her favorite weapon combination was always one sword and shield. And I always rather liked the way she did things. She was very personal, you know.
Yeah, I always felt bad for giants who want teenagers.
Yeah. Understandable. Between you and me, Arrow is a bit of, her family was a little, not well-to-do, financially. And I can't remember what it was, but one day she told me about something that was going on, and like her family took her birthday money and gave it to like some other kid in the family, you know, or something like that. And this is on her birthday, and so the dragon mount had just come out, the Thunder and Fire dragons. So I ran down to the corner and I bought her a karma coin, and she used it to get a dragon.
Aww.
And that's still a moment that I remember because she was really happy about that. Very grateful, you know. It's something so simple, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I figured it was her birthday. She should have something nice. I think I would have done that for anyone who was in need of a similar situation.
Yeah, I'd do the same.
As long as I had the money to spare, of course. For something of that cost range, I usually do. Very fortunate in that regard. I love being alive. Genuinely. I really enjoy life, I do.
I am also happy that you're alive.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy it too, for the most part at least. I mean, certainly I know you have it rough sometimes, you know, but I mean, it's easier said than done, but it's important to keep on going and
Right.
seek happiness. There's a guy who I frequently have seen over the past few years when I go out drinking. I see him downtown a lot where I go drinking. He frequents a lot of the same bars that I do. He was evidently, I had a conversation with him one time. He was born without arms or legs. Oof. He is a torso and a head.
That is very rough.
Yeah. But he really seems to enjoy himself, you know? And
Right.
that makes me happy to see that. You know, I had a long conversation with him. And he said that he appreciated that I was very straightforward with him about things, you know? That I just flat out asked him questions that other people just would avoid, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I asked him, what's it like? I mean, I asked him, like, do you ever get depressed? And I said to his face, man, if I were in your place, I might just blow my brains out. You know? I told him that to his face. That's how I felt. And he said, no, you wouldn't do that. You would adapt, is what he told me. You know, you would... I'm trying to remember the word he used. It's something like adapt. You would get over with it. You would learn to cope. That kind of thing, basically. You know?
Right.
Maybe he's right. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's the actual experience that you don't know what to do.
Right. Well, whether he's right or not, I mean, this might sound callous, but I am really grateful that I am not in his position. I'm really thankful that I have my arms and legs.
Yeah, me too.
Like, even right now, just being able to play video games with you, I wouldn't be able to grip this controller if I didn't have arms. You know?
Right.
Got him. Thank you, Erwin. I just drank an unnecessary number of potions. I guess that's better than not drinking any.
True.
I hate this. Stop jumping, jerkwad! Oh, got him. These mostly seem to take 2 hits, these guys that I'm encountering.
Yeah, that's easy to take. So it's not so bad.
Right. It's not like when you get in there and like it takes like 8 hits to kill one Titan or something absurd. So, you heard anything else about Valkyria 4? Isn't that coming out?
It got delayed.
Well, shit. But, I mean, hopefully that means that... Hopefully that means that they're taking their time with it and it's going to be good.
Yeah. It got delayed, and to make up for it, Sega's like, we'll just put Valkyria Chronicles on Switch.
For the original?
Yeah. To, like, make up for it. And people are like, alright.
I wish they would remake the second one. You know, put that on Switch. Give it a big graphical overhaul, which I mean would be expensive, going from... But, well, they'd have a lot of base material to work with. They could just upgrade the graphics, you know, substitute character and environmental models from Valkyria 1, since the, what do you call it, the assets exist and the hardware is there. Galia has certainly the cutest uniforms of any military in history. Absolutely adorable. With a little fluffy, you know, Santa Claus-esque, you know, fluffy Santa Claus-esque fur around the arms and the gloves and such, you know. They look like a bunch of elf soldiers, a bunch of elf troopers. I think every military should have that. Every military needs to have a, you know, they have dress uniforms, they have battle dress uniforms. Every military should have a chic uniform. Something trendy. But maybe that's just the Nazi enthusiast in me speaking. Because their uniforms were designed by the fashion designer Hugo Boss, who is still renowned to this day, you know?
They were quite the snazzy dresses.
The little details were some of the best things about them. The skull and crossbones, all the little symbols like that, you know? The stylized SS on the collar.
Right.
Okay, I got that armor titan. Mikasa too? Our allies are dropping like flies suddenly. It doesn't matter. Just one left. What type is it?
It is about just a normal.
Big abnormal.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Another mission down.
くも貢献できたよな。
Yeah, Valkyria 4 will now be out sometime in fall.
Well, hopefully they're adding a lot to it then. What consoles is it going to be on again? Can you refresh my memory?
I think PS4 and Switch, because that's what it is out in Japan right now.
That would make sense.
I'm not sure if Xbox is getting it because Sega or
Sony or whoever, yeah.
oh no, Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One.
Oh wow, Xbox is getting it. That's a little surprising to me. It's a true case of a game to me that it's a real shame that did not do better than it did. I can't remember what the context was, but I had a discussion with someone about that the other day, about games that don't do as well as they deserve. I'm gonna be right back, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I just need a moment here. Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. So I heard some good news for me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I read an article that says that evidently the PlayStation VR is selling, first of all, better than anyone expected it to. And second of all, it's selling more than Oculus or the HTC Vive. It's outperforming both of those.
Wow.
So that's good for me because I'm hoping that that means that, you know, it won't just die off because nobody bought it, you know, and just go away. I'm hoping that it will encourage more third-party developers to work with the technology and bring it to PSVR as the largest VR market, you know? Maybe get Valkyria Chronicles VR. A VR mode. But yeah, I was worried that it would tank and just end up a fad. You know, I had to buy it anyway for myself just because I wanted to play Doom. I am a Doom fanatic. But I was worried it would just die off too quick. Never go anywhere past that. Hopefully this means I'm wrong, that it's selling better than expected. Let's see here. You want to keep going on this or switch games?
I don't mind if you want to keep going.
Okay, because I'd be down for Monster Hunter as well if you'd like to play that instead. But I can keep doing survey missions. Why don't you pick? Pick anything, in fact.
I suppose we can do like a thing of Monster Hunter. I'm sure you have some things you could kill.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good to me. I'll get on Monster Hunter then. I think I got the disc in there. If anyone's in my broadcast right now, I'm gonna bring the broadcast back up in just a moment here. I'm gonna close it down to switch to Monster Hunter with my buddy here, and I'll be back.